Yo, it's a great time for a throwback to my first ever track day. And as you can see, it is at Oulton Park and I am in the Celica GT4. Just taking it easy this day because obviously I don't want to bin the Celica, it's far too precious for that sort of treatment. So let me just signpost the video for you. First of all, I'm going to shut up and let you enjoy the engine and take in a full lap. Then we're going to go through the corners and their names. Then I'm going to go and pause the video and give you tips and hints on where to look, where to aim for and things like that. Obviously this is for beginners to intermediate who just want to learn where they're going. If you're a pro, why are you on YouTube looking for tips? I hope you enjoyed that lap. What I'm going to do first is go through the names of the corners so we're all on the same page. This is Old Hall, or the first corner. Everyone just calls the first corner because it's easy to keep track of. This little bend here is technically number 2. It's called Denton, and it's important to keep to the right as you come into Cascades. It's a very difficult corner. You get the speed slightly too much and you're off into the grass, as you can see someone has there. Get it too slow and you really feel it. So we're going down here. There's a lake off to the left that you can't really see, and that gives way to Island Bend, which is this one here, a difficult one, the fastest corner on the circuit. And then here we go into Shell Oil Corner, which is number 5, and then the next one is just called Turn 6. Haven't really given it a name, so I don't know if you crash spectacularly, they might even name it after you. So going into these 3 turns here, which are called Britons, 1, 2 and 3. Very difficult in the rain because there isn't a lot of option on lines. And then this straight here is called Hilltop for pretty obvious reasons. And this is probably the fastest part of the track. I'm going about 110 in the Celica. And then number 10 here and 11 are both called Hislops. That little chicane into Knickerbrook. That is this one, my favourite corner. You can really give it some as you're coming out of Hislops. And then up here is where I've had my closest one to an actual crash. This is called Clay Hill, into a water tower that leads straight into Druids. This is a difficult one. It's often quite wet around these. It is a double apex, so it's more important to get the second one right than the first one, mainly because the track bends in as it goes into Warwick Bridge, which we just passed there. Finally, we've got Lodge Corner. As you can see, the lodge there on the left makes for some fantastic photos as well. And then this is Deer's Leap. So that is the name of all the corners and bends. So let's get on to the tips. And as you can see, I've changed it over to a sunny lap so you can enjoy the view, and also the dry line is an indicator of the good line. And so coming up to the first corner here, I'll stop the video so you can see the braking boards. They're placed around the track and it's good to keep track of. Then you want to sort of follow this line in the side of the road and then aim for this soft flex post. Roll it out to the outside, but I'm getting blue flags, so I'll move over and let someone pass. Now if we watch this TT, they take quite a good line. You don't really need to brake through Denton, but you do need to brake into Cascades. Get the speed just right, because it is an opposite camber corner, so it can throw you off quite easily and put you on the big lot of grass over to the right. Obviously this is a straight, I don't need to explain this one. Coming up to the scary island bend, I brake at the start of that extra bit of track that they use, and then you want to stay to the left, get yourself nice and lined up and brake at the board. Turn in at this part of the barrier. I turn in a bit late here thinking that I'll hold more speed on the way out. It is a positive camber, so you can just hold the speed on the inside and save yourself a bit of time, and it is also a great lot of fun. Next up is Britain's. This one's quite tricky. You want to brake in a straight line heading straight towards that curb right there. Half lift, adjust for the next one, and easy on the accelerator as you go through and out. You want to be full blast by now, especially in the dry, and then up and over hilltop. Up next we have Hislops, and it's important to get the braking just right on this one. I actually brake a bit late in this one, get a bit panicked, and well, lock up. Yeah, that's the noise I make. Anyway, you want to run wide on the way out of Hislops to set yourself up for Knickerbrook, because you want that weight transfer to help flick you into it and hold as much speed as you can and power out as much as you can. Next is Clay Hill. It's important to get yourself lined up for this one correctly, because it is a blind corner, and it's important to get lined up for over this water tower, because you come over to the left, brake, brake, brake in a straight line, ready for Druids, which is the double right-hander. Don't worry about the first apex, but do worry about the second one, and as you can see there, it cuts in a little bit as you go over the crest. I had cars behind me, so I moved over, slowed down, but then as we come into Lodge Corner, there was the braking point. You want a gradual turn in on this one and an ease out. There's a lot of runoff, but it is into the dip, a bit blind as well, which makes it quite tricky and easy to overshoot, but they've got an extra little bit there for you, no problem at all. And here's a few clips that my wonderful wife got for me. Stood out in the rain whilst I was driving in circles. It must be love. You can hear a few of the engines going about, so I'll shut up now and I'll see you in a second. Some lovely noises there, especially at the end. Sorry if it blew out your speakers. We got someone overtaking on a corner here, and to be fair, watching the rest of the clip, I can't really blame them. This MX-5 does take his time to get out of my way as well. I had to let off and then get back on it, which is minorly annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And then up here we've got a younger generation of mine. It's the GR Yaris, obviously mine gave way to it. And then this cheeky chappy in the blue MX-5, he actually threw one down the inside of me on Cascades earlier on in the day, so I knew to steer clear of him. He does a very good job, though, to be fair, of holding it around that corner. This guy here, he really liked my car. He gave me a thumbs up every time I went past. And then onto the track, just so you know where you're going. You can't actually go through the pit lane onto the track. You have to come out through the staging area and then through where you just saw there. Always be careful on the way out. As you can see, there's always cars flying by. Just stick to the right and keep an eye on your mirrors. It did get very wet and the wipers are not very good in the Celica. You can actually just about see a car in the distance going through the extra runoff chicane, if you will. Because it's downhill, you got to be careful with that braking spot. Adjust for the conditions and your car. Of course, if it's wet and slidey through Knickerbrook, it is an easy place to spin. Up next, we got another MX-5. This one is very eager to get out of my way and almost loses it right there. And you see me going past a Porsche. Definitely not on his in-lap or anything like that. But everyone gives each other a lot of time. There's no rush to get out of each other's way. Of course, the sooner it is, the nicer you are. Here's our mate again, who obviously likes the cars, definitely not looking at wristbands. He gave a double thumbs up this time, which was very nice. And then if you keep an eye in the distance, you'll see the green P Ford Fiesta going, and gone. That is the worst feeling, to be fair, when you're going out the pit lane and you see a red flag. This one was only orange. He spun it back around and got going, so it didn't really disturb many people. And here's another MX-5. They are just everywhere on these track days, and he was struggling to keep it together. You just about see it in the shot there, and nicely moving out the way for us. And finally, we have got the last turn of the day. As you may be able to hear on this one, and on the first lap with no commentary, the brakes are juddering something rotten. They're just overheating. They're street brakes. They're not really made for the track. So my biggest piece of advice for anyone looking to go on a track day: change your pads and discs. So thank you very much for watching the video. This one's a little bit shorter than the usual 20 minutes, but I hope you've enjoyed it and it's helped you get faster and more confident if you are heading over to Oulton Park yourself. As always, like and subscribe so I can make more track day content.